Hi everyone, it's me, Wade, for the NAA Awesome Video Diaries, and I'm going to be doing two videos, and the first one is this one, which is why I believe in the NAA system. Okay, in my next video I'm going to bitch about some stuff, but, first I want to come out and say I believe in the system. Okay, and the reason why is because, basically, even if you get into it part-time, you're working at your job for Widget Incorporated and you're making very little money, you can use a small investment to move over to working. And the way that the NAA works is, while we're doing the presentation, we ask you, do you know anybody who'd like to make an extra $500 a week, working 5 to 20 hours a week? And it's because, depending on where you are, it could take that amount of time, between 5 and 20 hours, so that you can make an extra $500. Okay. And, the thing is that, realistically, a lot of people badmouth Robert Kiyosaki, but he does have that book, Cash Flow Quadrant, where he's got that little plus symbol, and in the upper, left corner, there's the E, and below that, the E is for employee, below that is the self-employed. And then if you go to the upper right hand corner, you have the investor, and then below that is the business owner. And NAA is structured to move you from being an E to an S to an I to a business owner. It's how the company itself is structured, because they tell you there's two things that you need to do. Okay, you need to sell and you need to recruit. Okay, so basically, if you're working part-time selling insurance because you've got your own business, you're an independent insurance agent, and after you kind of learn the basics and all that and you're consistently making about $500 a week. And it's really helpful to be able to work your job and work between 5 and 7 hours a week to make an extra $500. You're taking part of that to reinvest back into the company, and so your spendable money really isn't that much. I mean, it's like, we'll say that realistically speaking, you're making an extra $250 a week because you're reinvesting $250 back into the business. But still, it's an extra $250 a week that pays the electricity, it pays the gas, and pays the water bill. That doesn't come out of your checking account for your personal, from your job. So you've got a little bit, your quality of life goes up a little bit. You get to buy better food. Well, after a while, you've got friends that, Widgets Incorporated, that are griping about how, as an example, they need a new car, but they can't afford the car payment. And you tell them, I'm working selling insurance, and it's a pretty good system. If you get your insurance license, I will put you in contact with people that will help you to do what I'm doing, and you can sell insurance part-time. And here's what I'm encountering in this area, and that's important, in this area. Okay, so your friend's like, okay, and you talk to 3 people and only one of them comes on board. Well, what happens with the NAA is you get a small portion of what he makes because you brought him on. And if he brings somebody on, he'll make a portion off of what they make. So do you, oddly enough. They go 2 down. So if you bring somebody on, you're here. 2 below that, you'll get a portion of what this person makes and a portion of what that person makes. If this person brings somebody on, you don't get anything, but the guy you brought on does. So it's just, if you don't think that corporate America works this way, you really don't understand how management profits off the work of the drones. But anyway, so you basically move over from being an employee to being self-employed, and then because you're bringing people on, you're becoming an investor, because you're investing your time and your knowledge to help them get up and profitable as quick as possible. You learn what the problems you were doing, and so you help them avoid those so they advance quicker. And they don't have any money, so you're like, well, here's the deal. I'm making $500. I spent $125 a week on me. I save a portion of what I make so I can go to one of the conferences, or so I can buy educational material. So I'll spend $125 on leads for you. You just pay me back. And that makes you an investor because you're investing in your employee. So Once that starts happening, and the way you get paid for NAA off when you recruit somebody is whatever the commission rate you're getting paid, the difference between your commission rate and their commission rate is what you'll get. So technically, because you're getting better at your job, you're going to get more closes on your appointments. And we're going to say that you're at 7,500 a month, and because you brought somebody on, you get pushed up from a 55 to a 60% commission rate, and so there's a 5% difference. When you bring that guy on, you're going to get 5% of their sales, and if they bring somebody on, the same thing will happen to them, and they'll get 5% of that person's sales. And again, if you think corporate America doesn't work this way, you're not very educated, or you just didn't realize it. Now I made you aware of it, and think about it, and you'll see the wisdom in it. Well, once you bring on that first guy, you start bringing on other people, and we'll just say that you're really slow at it. Okay, so you bring on 4 people in 1 year. That's an extra 20%. When's the last time working for Widgets Incorporated that you got a 20% raise based on telling somebody come work for the company? Just saying. Okay, and if they work harder, you're going to get a bigger amount. Well, you're not dumb, and so you know that you want to quit your job for Widgets Incorporated, and you want to be self-employed full-time so that you can write off more of the money. Plus, it gives you more time to go on these cruises that the prices, it's like there's nothing quite as annoying as working for NAA and getting the points to go on a cruise and not being able to go because your company won't give you the time off. So it's an all-expense paid cruise. I just recently heard about that, and I'm like, oh God, that stinks. But anyway, so you become self-employed. You're 100% self-employed. You brought on 4 people, and because you're helping them get started, you move over from the S to the I. Now you're an investor. Okay, well, eventually, once you get to the point where you've got enough people underneath you, you're still running business yourself, you get to the point where you've got to hire an office admin to help you run your business. Well, then you move from being an investor to being a business owner. And the thing is, it's a really good way to get wealthy. They did talk about some stuff that I went through and I read the non-disclosure agreement. So I'm just going to say this one thing. If you were to join the NAA now and do what they ask you to do, which is to sell and do recruit, and you apply it the way that they tell you to do it, in 5 years, it's really realistic that you'll have a passive income of $1 million a year. Because the NAA is going to be its own insurance agency soon, and they're going to structure things differently than they are now. Now, that's why I love the NAA, because number one, in essence, reality, you're not working for someone, you're working for yourself. You're contracted through that other company so that you can do business. And, basically, they're going to help you prosper because they're going to educate you so that you can become better at your job. I love the NAA for that reason, and I think that most people who want to be self-employed or who have some weird family situation to where they can only work part-time, this would be perfect for. Okay, I just want to throw that out there because my next video is going to be a little bit more, this isn't right type thing, but I still believe in the NAA, and I just want to make sure I had that out there. All right, peace.